The big question in the Middle East this past week has been, is Egypt undergoing a revolution, and could Jordan be next? These are huge issues, and the reason people are concerned about it is because there have literally been massive protests against the government of Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak. They began early in the week, and they began to build and accelerate throughout the week. But the government has been cracking down, sending troops into the street, police into the street. They completely shut down the internet on Friday. They shut down Facebook. They shut down Twitter. They shut down cell phone coverage in certain parts of the country, and yet the protests are continuing to build. Now, what are people protesting in Egypt? And by the way, 1,000 Egyptians have already been arrested, many injured by the police, who are using live ammunition as well as water cannons and literally beating protesters in the streets. Now, why are Egyptians on the move? The reason is severalfold. First of all, they deeply resent the Mubarak regime. Hosni Mubarak is 82 years old. He became president of Egypt in 1981 when Anwar Sadat, the boldest reformer in the Middle East for years, and then the president, was assassinated by Egyptian radical Muslims. And Mubarak took over at that point and decided not to become a reformer or a revolutionary of any kind. He became what I call a classic resistor, meaning resisting change. He wants stability, he wants power, he wants wealth, and he wants to pass all that on to his son, 46-year-old Gamal Mubarak. But most people in Egypt don't want to see this happen, particularly in the political class, but in the country as well. So what's happening now is what you have is almost a perfect storm of grievances held by the Egyptians, that their government is corrupt, that it's authoritarian, that it's anti-human rights, and their economy is stagnant, and inflation has been rising. In the past year or so, inflation has been double-digit, food prices are soaring, and now what you've got is, roughly 50 to 60% of Egyptians live on $2 a day or less. I mean, people are dirt poor in Egypt, mostly. And what's happening now as prices go up, as inflation goes up, what you have is a sense that the people of Tunisia have changed their government, the people of southern Sudan have changed their government, the people of Iraq have changed their government, and Egyptians are thinking, why not us? And what's happening is they're feeling pushed to the brink. They know Mubarak is old and close to leaving this world, and they want change. Now, not everyone that's involved in the protest movement want democracy, freedom, free markets. The radical Muslims of the Muslim Brotherhood are trying to co-opt the movement. They held back for the first few days of the week, but indications are that today, as the mosques emptied after Friday prayers and sermons, the radical Muslim Brotherhood, which was started in Egypt in the 1920s, has poured into the streets and are trying to take over this sort of revolutionary fervor. Now, not only is the situation in Egypt a concern, and something we really need to pray for, praying for freedom. I want to just say, I think we need to pray like Moses did, let my people go. The Egyptian people need freedom. They deserve human rights, civil rights. They deserve to be able to worship freely. Christians have been under severe attack in Egypt, particularly this year. Just in the month of January, there were severe attacks against followers of Jesus Christ in Egypt. And this regime hasn't been helping. So, in my best case scenario, yes, this regime moves on and bold, positive, pro-freedom reformers take over. But it's a risk, and we need to pray that the radical Muslims don't take over the country. At the same time, we need to watch what's happening in Jordan, because protests have also begun there. Now, the leader of Jordan is King Abdullah II. He's a reformer. He and his father, King Hussein, have made significant reforms in the last few decades. But my concern there is that radical Muslims are the ones that are on the move, building popular resentment against the King Abdullah regime. And there is a very severe risk that if these things sort of spin out of control, that Jordan could have a toppled reformer government and lead into a radical Muslim government, perhaps backed by Iran, perhaps tied in with Hezbollah. This would be a worst case nightmare scenario. So the Joshua Fund, of course, has been doing projects in Egypt, in Jordan, in the region to advance the gospel, strengthen church leaders, encourage the church. It's not the main focus. We mostly focus on Israelis and Palestinians, but we are very concerned about what's going on in these regions, in these countries. And we'd ask you to be praying with us. I'll keep you updated on what's happening, and you can keep up to date on joshuafund.net. Please pray with us and for the people of Egypt. May God bless you. Thanks so much.